Hello, hello, hello. Um, Welcome to the first installment of the Uncensored Diary of a Divine Feminine Rising on today, September 12th, 2022. So this has just been coming up. It feels very divinely guided. I feel that Spirit is asking me to speak very transparently about myself, about my journey, my own challenges, my own fears, what I'm moving through, and to really hold space for anyone who wants to join me in really sharing, talking about, discussing deep into this journey that we are all on in our ascension journey. So, so that's what I'm planning to do, and I sure hope that this is resonant with some of you, that you might want to join me on this journey of uncensoredness, of transparency, of rawness, of truth, of authenticity. And one of the main messages that comes through me is that what the world really needs is all of us in our true authenticity, our true transparency, really living from the heart. Just that this is one of the pathways that we really move into the new earth. And of course, we are moving right now from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age. And the Piscean age, one of the hallmarks of the Piscean age was a lack of transparency, of secrecy, of a lack of vulnerability, of covertness. And as we are moving individually and collectively more into the Aquarian age, the invitation, the call is for transparency and truth and just being really open, wide, and vulnerable. So this is very exciting for me on a personal level, because really for most of my life, I have felt that I was supposed to play a certain role and wear certain masks. As a child, I very felt that way growing up, and also most of my life as an adult as well, I have felt that way. I do have a doctorate. I'm a doctor of psychotherapy, and having a title like that comes with a lot of boxiness. Sometimes I feel like society might want to put me in a certain box because of that type of background. And I think probably all of us can relate to this boxiness feeling of feeling that we need to put ourselves in some type of box in order to be accepted by society. And I just want to pause and say that if you feel like commenting, I would love to hear from you. I always love to be really interactive in these types of live streams. So if you want to share your name or anything, I would love, love, love to hear from you. I can see the comments here on my screen. So please let me know, first of all, just how the heck you're doing tonight, where you're located, and would love to get to know all of you. So yeah, so this is going to be a very uncensored diary of myself, a divine feminine rising. And as I said, I would really love for this to be a space a really safe space for all of us, if anyone this is resonant with, to just be able to be really truthful and vulnerable and transparent about what we are moving through during these very often intense times energetically on the planet, as so much is really coming up for us to see in ourselves. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think we're probably all just doing the best we can with it. So it's wonderful. So one of the things I thought I would do in this diary is just to share my own wins, my own challenges, my own whys, like what is really important to me. Why am I waking up every morning? What is precious to me? My own fears and my own inner knowings, my own inner knowingness. So this time period has been, oh my word, a really, really fertile and intense and at times heart-wrenching time period for me. And I'm super curious to hear how it has been for you. If the way I just described it is at all resonant for you, or what adjectives you would use to describe, let's say, this past year or past 6 months. Probably like many of you listening, I have been on this ascension awakening path for quite a while. It's been technically about 10 years of the real, I would say, awakening path. I had a major awakening on December 12th, 2012, so just about 10 years ago. And over those 10 years, there have been several dark night of the souls. And I'm super curious what your experience has been, if you also have had multiple dark nights of the souls. I just love the Tower card in the tarot. And yeah, lots of Tower moments, lots of Tower periods. And so the stage I'm in right now of my journey, it has felt in many ways like yet another dark night of the soul and another real Tower moment, with just a lot falling away. And I'm curious how you experience this, if you are also experiencing this. But for me, the way my guidance comes through about all of this is myself and many of us, we are really moving through so much. We are, in a sense, jumping timelines. When we're really committed to this beautiful path of ascension, and that really is our number one focus, and our number one focus is staying in alignment with our higher self, with the guidance, no matter what, we will have these stages of real Tower moments, of real dark nights of the soul. Oh, I have to pause and say hello to my sister who's here. Yay! Hey, Debbie. I'm so glad you're here, sister. It's always so great to be with you and your beautiful energy. And if you've been listening, I would love to hear if what I've been talking about is resonant for you. Really just want to share my own journey as a divine feminine rising, and to hear about other divine feminines and their journeys. And also the divine masculine, would love to hear from him as well. So one of the things that has really helped me understand what is going on is as we're super committed and aligned on our path, things will fall away. Relationships will fall away. Things we used to like to do will no longer quite have the same appeal. It's like we're moving forward, and our old external reality, a lot of it we're leaving behind. So this is my understanding of why it often seems as we continue on our path, sometimes we are just leaving so much behind. And I'm just curious how you all experience this. I know for my human, at times it's really confusing and really disheartening and heartbreaking when you no longer feel aligned, say, with people that you used to feel aligned with, or even work, or just so many things. It can feel a little destabilizing. Like, okay, where is my new ground? Where are the new people? Where is my new life? And I often refer to this as the liminal space, the void space, the in-between space, as we are literally jumping timelines in our ascension. So again, I hope for this platform to be a safe space, to be a support for all of us who are moving through our ascension, especially in times where it might feel like a real void. Like, what is going on? Everything is falling away. And so just want to provide some safe, stable footing for all of us. So just sort of back to my own personal story. Right now, I'm in another one of those big stages where it can feel like so much is falling away, and I'm not really sure exactly what is coming in. I feel in between lives in a lot of ways right now, and that has been a really common feeling through the past 10 years, this feeling of being in between lives. Oh, great. We have another comment. I used to watch sports and hang with a certain group of people for like 30 plus years. They all fell away and a new tribe and activities came in. Yes. Okay. Yeah, totally. Me too. Me too. A lot falls away and then something new comes in. So I'm going to share just a bit about my personal life, because I want to be really raw and uncensored and authentic, and not feel the need to hide things or for any reason. I want to be really, really transparent and authentic. So two of the aspects of my life right now that are really feel like they're in flux, and they're expanding and they're moving into some new space are number one, my love life, and number two, my work life. And okay, you know what's really interesting about both of those aspects of my life is that I feel that what is happening is it's internal to me. A lot has been coming up for me around my self-worth. And I'm really curious how that lands for everybody out there. If you too have had self-worth come up. It's so interesting for me because I always thought that I had a lot of self-worth. And I'm still trying to understand exactly the discernment here, but I think I had a lot of worth wrapped up in my persona, in somewhat the mask that, or the identity that I would present to the world, particularly this Dr. Tassel identity that's been with me for a while. I think I had a lot of worth wrapped up in that because our society tends to value a doctor and things like that. But I think what I'm seeing in myself, and I'm still figuring this out, I'm still sort of moving through this, is when I strip away all these titles or egoic identities of myself, and I really just, I don't know, get to more the raw sense of myself, I think there are still some self-worth issues, some lack of self-worth. And probably in the past, I would be maybe embarrassed to talk about this, or not really wanting to share that, maybe thinking that could diminish me in the eyes of other people or something. But it's really interesting. My number one commitment these days is just to my truth, to an absolute loyalty to myself and to whatever is arising in me, and just to be very open and vulnerable and real about whatever I'm moving through. And so my own truth feels like I'm married to my own truth. That's what I feel so loyal to, is just being truthful, starting with myself, having inner truth, and then whatever I share, being super truthful about that as well. Just some more comments here. Yeah, the Pisces full moon, yes, has a lot been coming up for you all. I had a lot come up. I know. Me too. And Debbie says, I love that. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so, and I'm really curious about other people's experiences. I was really cut off from my truth as a child growing up in my family of origin. Really cut off from my truth, and really cut off from my truth for most of my adult life. So being able to just start by being truthful with myself, and then truthful with anyone around me, in some ways feels like the most amazing luxury. It still feels like a luxury to me. I guess over time, as I continue to just be in my truth for years and years and years, maybe it will recede as a luxury. But I have to say, it still feels like a luxury to me to really be in my truth and not censor myself at all. And it's just, to me, the best feeling. I am so happy when I'm in my truth. I can't even fully explain the glee I feel about being truthful. It's I can almost cry. It's just such a treasure. It feels like a natural high just to be truthful. So, so as I said, I'm going through quite a lot of initiations in my love life and in my work life, and I feel the common theme in both of them is self-worth. So I'll just start with my love life. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this term, twin flame. So I believe I am in a twin flame relationship with a really amazing man. And oh my gosh, I cannot even express what a wild ride the twin flame journey is. I don't know where to start. It has brought me to my knees in both polarities. It has brought me to my knees in absolute joy and rapture and love and ecstasy, amazingness. And it has brought me to my knees in pain and despair and hopelessness. It has been the most traumatic experience I ever could have imagined. Sort of backing up, I believe the twin flame journey is to help each person on their ascension path. It's really an ascension vehicle at its heart. It's really less about the human relationship and much more about the spiritual transformation that can take place on this path. So basically, twin flames often trigger each other a lot, and they're really teachers to each other to help each other see their own shadow, their own trauma, their own energies that really need to be seen and transmuted. So, oh my goodness, it has been really, 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 really intense, and I'm just kind of holding on with bare knuckles at times to the ride of the twin flame journey. And I'm in this interesting stage now of this journey where we have broken up a few times, come back together, broken up, come back together, basically because things got so intense and painful in certain ways that we separated for a while. I'm at this stage now, I call it twin flame surrender, where I've just surrendered to what is. I'm not running, I'm not breaking up. I'm also not forcing anything. I'm not trying to actively kind of like heal the relationship or try to make things happen. I'm just in a state of being in the relationship. I'm in just full surrender. And this is a place that is new for my human. My human is a real go-getter. She is a real go-getter. She knows what she wants. She knows how to work hard. She knows how to make things happen in her personal life. So to be in a relationship where it's kind of uncomfortable, not kind of, it's really uncomfortable, and she doesn't know really totally what's happening with it or where it's leading. It's unknown territory, and it can feel like she's just crawling forward in the dark, in blind faith. That's what's going on. It's a very new energy for me, and it can be really, really, really uncomfortable. Debbie, thank you for this great comment. We're learning about the healing power of surrendering in my course. Oh, I love it. I love that you're really tapped into this surrender as well. So yeah, so in my love life, it's just a complete surrender to what is and having divine faith that it's all happening for me and for my twin flame, and that it's serving both of us, and in divine timing we will see what happens. It's wild. So, and then it's the same in my career. It's the same. I am being initiated into the same energy. I'm launching some projects that I've been working on for a long time this month. One of them is called the Metamorphosis Journey. It's a 12-week container, mostly focused on self-leadership. And really coming back into your power, or more fully into your power, into your guidance, into your dreams. And this course, it's, first of all, it's at a price point that I have never, I've never had before. It's priced at a level that's much higher than previous offerings. And this has a lot to do with this self-worth that we've been talking about. It also has to do with literally practical issues, in that my financial situation from my divorce, I had been receiving alimony for a while, and that is just about over. So the price point also reflects my practical financial situation of needing to bring in a certain amount of money now, whereas previously I could hold workshops and courses at sort of a different price point. So this is all like it's new territory, and it's a little uncomfortable, and it's a little scary, and it's just so much about self-worth. And so that's really interesting too. And it's always I think, at least for me, whenever I put something out there that I'm selling, it brings up a lot. It brings up a lot. Will anyone buy it? And if so, will they have a good experience? Am I enough? It brings up all of those things to like really look at in the mirror. So it's all really intense, and it's also really great. And sort of the flip side of what I'm talking about is I'm just really grateful to be in a place where I am putting out this type of offering, and that I'm following my dreams, and that I'm following my guidance, and that even though I'm often really outside of my comfort zone, kind of like every day, that I'm showing up and I'm moving through it, and I'm expanding and I'm growing, and I'm not in a stagnant energy at all. Even though sometimes my life can feel like, well, why hasn't this quite shown up yet? Why hasn't this shown up? But me, myself, I do see myself internally as continually growing. So that feels really good. And one of the things I always come back to is, no matter what is happening on my external reality, in my love life, in my work life, in any aspect of my life, of course, my human has her desires, but what's most important, I come back to, is who am I becoming? Am I happy with who I'm becoming? Am I happy with how I'm showing up? Am I happy with what I'm moving through and choosing to move through, rather than say hide and retreat from things? And I will say that I am happy with how I am moving through things, even though my external reality isn't yet totally my dream life. But I'm at peace with how I'm showing up in my life. So please let me know how this is resonating with you all. I'm so grateful that you're here in this diary. And if you feel like sharing anything, I would love to hear. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, okay. So I'm curious how this resonates for you. So even though, as I said, some things on my external reality have not yet shown up in the way I would like them to, I have this inner knowingness that they will, that it's just a matter of time. And that inner knowingness really fuels my faith. That is the engine of my faith, this inner knowingness. That's what really keeps me really faithful, that it's almost like just having angels. I have felt like my whole life there's been angels whispering in my ear that, keep going, keep going. Your dreams are all within reach. And that is also just something that always flows through me, that the dreams we hold in our heart, we are absolutely here to bring them through on the external. And they feel so precious because they are so precious. And often our human doesn't quite know exactly how is it all going to work out? How are all of my dreams going to come through? And I think we all know by this stage in the game that we don't have to know how, and we surrender the hows and the whens and the exact unfolding of the dream to spirit. But it feels like our job, our part of the co-creation that we're in, is just to hold on to the dreams and hold the vision and hold the energy. And one of my favorite practices, and I'm not always that great at it, sometimes I forget to do it, is just to stay in the energy of what I'm wanting to bring through. So staying in the energy of abundance. I'm abundant now. Staying in the energy of love. I have so much love in my life now. Staying in the energy of ease. Staying in the energy of peace. So just setting my own energy. And it's such a fun science experiment, because it really, I see it show up all the time, that the external does match my internal energy. And sometimes there's a lag. I mean, often there is a lag, but I usually see a 1-to-1 correspondence between the dominant energy I'm holding and then what I see show up on the external. So, so I think I'm going to stop there for tonight, and for this, the first installment of the Uncensored Diary of a Divine Feminine Rising on September 12th. And yeah, I want to show up and just talk about what I'm personally moving through, what are my fears, what are my challenges, what are my wins. And again, for this just to be a beautiful place of authenticity, of support, of truth, of vulnerability, for us all to come together as sisters and brothers. All righty. Thank you so much for being with me. It's so fun to interact with you all, and just so much love to everyone out there on your amazing journey. You're all amazing beings. Thank you for being on the planet during this time. And let's just come together and support each other and love each other through all of our initiations and expansions. I love you too, Debbie. Thank you so much. Mwah. So much love to everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.